Kids in China have terrible school lives. They go to school 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, and they're all rebelling. Well, at least that's what the China haters are saying. But what about reality? Let's talk about it. 大家好，我是 Surant 在中国. Hey everyone, it's Surant in China. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a lovely day. I, of course, am having a fantastic day over here in China, and it's getting better and better all the time as more and more of my great viewers help my channel to grow by very simply, freely, and easily hitting that subscribe button below. And hey, if you like the content, remember to throw me a thumbs up. It goes a long way in helping the YouTube algorithm to find my videos and to share them with more people. And hey, if you want to buy a guy a cup of coffee, there are a couple links up there, a couple links in the description, or you can become a channel member. That helps a lot too. But for now, let's talk about something that's coming up a lot these days, and that is these infamous and horrible China haters who go out of their way to spread lies and misinformation about China for profit. Now, truth be told, a lot of these people are not getting anywhere near the attention that they used to. Whereas they may have millions of subscribers, one thing to keep in mind is that subscribers can be bought through services to appear like you have more people than you actually do. But when it comes down to the views, they're not getting millions of views. And simply put, this is because they're telling a lot of lies about life in China. And when they run out of new lies to tell, they recycle the old ones over and over and over again. Now, one of these old lies, which may have once 30 years ago and beyond been a problem in China, that has come up once again, is by one of our favorite China haters. I won't mention his name, but he's actually Chinese himself, but obviously never lived in China. He is an American, and he is profiting off of telling lies about his former homeland that he even wears in his videos a tofu dregs hat, another notorious lie which has been debunked over and over and over again. But the very fact he's wearing this hat means he is selling this hat to his gullible viewers. But who would ever go out in public wearing a hat that said tofu dregs? Because you're proud of misinformation about the fact that even if it was true that houses are falling down on the other side of the world, this is something you want to make the public aware of because why? Should I get a hat that says people are starving in Africa? Starvation is cool. What? Ridiculous. But this shows the kind of mentality of this type of person. And this latest video is exactly the same idea, using misinformation to spread a narrative that simply isn't true. And in this case, they're talking about school kids. Now, in this video, he shows a few little clips. Now, I watched just a very small portion of this video just because it was a question that was asked by one of my viewers who did try to leave a direct link to that video in my comments. And of course, I do not post those links in my comments. Links to websites, links to other people's videos, especially to the China haters videos. I will not approve those comments. They will be deleted. They will not go up. But I will sometimes have a quick look to get an idea of what that video was about. And in this case, it was the lie that kids in China go to school 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, have no lives, no friends, and are all depressed, suicidal, and ready to rebel against China, which is simply not true. How can I make a claim like that? Well, I've lived in China for 20 years, as so many of you already know. I've worked in the school system in China for the vast majority of that time. I was a teacher in public schools and private schools, in small little rural communities and in big cities. I have seen the full spectrum of schools in China. Not only that, I'm a father with a Chinese daughter who went through that same Chinese school system from the age of 3 years old to the age of 18 years old, or actually, I guess 17 years old. So I've seen both ends of the spectrum, and everything that this clown is talking about is false. For example, he shows this video.
你知道我的3年怎么过的吗？哇！3年的单休，天发了！哇！
which shows these overly dramatic kids obviously making a video for Douyin to be funny, talking about how they're free, and they've got their suitcases in their hand. You know, after 3 years, we're finally free. Now, the creator of the crap video will say, in China, high school is 4 years, not 3 years, which is a lie. Go online, look up the education system in China on any website you want. High school in China is 3 years, period. It is not 4 years. I was a high school teacher. My daughter was a high school student. It is 3 years. Look it up. So, of course, after 3 years in school, these kids are going to be pumped about getting out of high school because they're graduating high school. It's not because now they have weekends off. Woohoo! They always had weekends off. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule where kids do live on the school campus and don't go home on the weekends. This could happen in more rural communities where it is just not convenient for the kids to go home on the weekends. This is an actual possibility. For example, if your parents are farmers and you go to school in a distant city because your rural community doesn't have a high school, it may well be that you stay at the school on the weekend. And of course, what's the school going to do with these students? Are they just going to let them roam around the campus and do whatever they want? Of course, they're going to have study sessions. They're going to have sports programs. They're going to have things and activities for the kids to do, because otherwise they would have nothing to do. And when you leave a group of young people together with no guidance, with nothing to do, that's when kids in general, not just in China, start to develop bad habits. So it doesn't surprise me at all that some kids would stay at the school over the weekends because maybe their parents are too busy to take care of them. Maybe if they went home on the weekend, they'd be working on the family farm anyway, so they might prefer to stay at school and study. But either way, this is not mandatory across China. This is a special circumstance and it is completely optional. Now, another couple clips that are shown by this cowardly China hater show the kids freaking out after an announcement from the teacher, which he claims is the teacher saying, "Hey everybody, you get to go home at 5:30 today instead of 9 p.m." And all the kids freak out and go crazy. However, the video very conveniently starts playing excessively loud music right as the teacher is making this announcement before the students freak out. So we don't actually hear what the announcement was. It's just assumed, emphasis on ass, by this creator that the teacher told them that they get to go home early or that there's no school on weekends anymore, etc. In fact, if you look up Chinese law, Just like the 996 rule that these people will talk about incessantly, that rule about school and work changed in 1995. Okay, 30 years ago. This is not a brand new change in Chinese society. This is something that changed a long time ago. Now, I could get my kids in my class pumped up and freaking out and screaming and excited if I said I was going to buy everybody pizza after school. That would have the exact same effect. And if you put a blast of super loud music over top of what I was actually saying, you could probably believe that I just said that the kids don't have to go to school on the weekend or that the kids didn't have to stay late at school. But the reality is, it's not that way in China at all. However, another thing to consider is that many kids do go back to school on Saturdays in China, not because it is obligatory, but because they want to get an advantage. China has such a massive population and is such a competitive society that many kids, as well as their parents, will push to become better. So if that means taking extra classes on the weekends, so be it. And many school teachers will offer those classes to the kids on the weekends. My daughter, for example, would go back to school every Saturday, not because she had to, and she wasn't it's not like every kid went back for these classes. She went back by her decision, not even ours, but her decision, because she wanted to make sure that she got the extra help to understand the concepts and the education that was being offered Monday to Friday. And by doing so, she became an excellent student who not only finished at the top of her class in high school, but university as well. But once again, that was her decision, not mine. As my wife and I are both school teachers, we understood this education system better than most, and better than these China hating clowns who sit in their ivory towers in America or Canada or wherever they happen to be, talking shit about what life is like in China when they don't actually live here. They have never been here. They take videos from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and then completely change the context of those videos. In fact, hiding the content whenever possible to disguise what is actually going on, either by playing music over top of the people talking or conveniently cutting off the video before relevant information, honest information, is actually given. It's disgusting behavior, and it just shows how trashy these people actually are. Again, they're talking about kids being forced into slave labor conditions at school, living in dormitories 9 till 9 every day, just having their worst lives, when I have been in that system for 20 years. My daughter was a student in that system. And yes, the Chinese school system is difficult. It is very challenging. It is incredibly competitive, but it also churns out the top engineers, the top programmers, the top employees and business people on the planet. So, is it really as terrible as these China haters say? Anyway, like I've said many times in my videos, you're welcome to send me links to those cowards videos, and I will take a quick look. I won't watch for more than 30 seconds because I don't want to give them any view time, and I of course will always give them a thumbs down, but I'm not going to post those links on my channel. This is not because I'm afraid of showing you those videos. It is because I strongly believe that those channels should get no views. And if you're sending me a link to their videos, you've given them money. That's the bottom line. You are supporting them by watching their videos. And even if you are leaving negative comments, telling them they're jerks, telling them how wrong they are, they love it, because that's called engagement. And that drives the algorithm to share those videos with more people, even if the comments are negative. So once again, you're welcome to send me your videos. I will have a look and I will give you my take as somebody who has been here for as long as I have, but I'm not going to share that information on my channel. That's just a personal decision. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me today, and we will see you in the next video. 再见。